Computer, scan files. Select mask agents best suited for this mission.
Personnel selected. Michael Mercy, 80s nostalgia expert. Collection code name, 80s Toy Museum.
Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to another live stream. And let's get this out of the way. Where's M.A.S.K? Right there.
Now back to M.A.S.K and v.e.n.o.m.
Yep, even a stopped clock is right twice a day, and we are back to M.A.S.K so soon. Very happy about that. Taking a look through the 80s Toy Museum for one of the underappreciated lines of the 80s, but fondly remembered by those who grew up with it. It's back to M.A.S.K, and more specifically, M.A.S.K's arch rivals, v.e.n.o.m. This Patreon special missions request comes to you from good brother Hubert Arts in the Netherlands. Hubert sent that amazing gift box a couple of, months ago, maybe a year or more ago. Time flies when you're having fun and enjoying some delicious Dutch treats. Thanks again, Hubert, for that great gift box. And also for that bag of PVC transformers, which I just did a video on recently, putting them all together and showcasing the whole collection. They look so cool all together. Really appreciate that. Thanks for sending that along and for all your time and care in putting that gift box together. So happy to be getting back to M.A.S.K. Just recently did good old Boulder Hill in the background there. Thanks to Michael Choi's Patreon special missions request. And the Switchblade is something I'm actually not familiar with. I feel like I haven't had this one very long, only a couple of years. Probably right around the time I started the channel, maybe slightly before it. And I've never really taken a good look at it. I've always just had it in the background, flying around. It's the only v.e.n.o.m vehicle that I have. For M.A.S.K, I mainly stick to the heroes. But I felt like, gotta have Miles Mayhem in his vehicle, his iconic ride. So I hunted down a Switchblade, which was in really rough condition. This might look really nice and shiny, but that's thanks to the lights I got on it, and also a warm, wet cloth. So I gave it a good scrubbing, but as you take a look at it a little closer, there is, well, one of the chrome pieces look pretty good, but they're pretty scuffed up. And we've got some stickers peeling here too. But, you know, it's amazing no matter how dirty and beat up a vintage toy is, it really doesn't take much, because that plastic, that is some high quality plastic right there. It had a great gloss. You can see all of the scuffing in there, but you can still clean these up quite a bit from just a couple of minutes of care. That's what I really love about vintage toys, especially ones that are 30 or 40 years old. It doesn't actually take all that much time to clean them up. And then once they are clean, if you leave them out on display like I do, all it takes is a little bit of a brushing down to get the dust off. That's it. It's literally just as quick as that. Whoops. This guy is eager to take off. But before we get to jet mode, I want to showcase helicopter mode. Pretty cool that both modes of the Switchblade are aerial. There's a lot of M.A.S.K vehicles like the Thunderhawk, which are land, one mode, air, another mode, or Gator, land and sea. But the Switchblade is actually a lot like Airwolf. For fans of Airwolf, Switchblade might be right up your alley, because it's a chopper, but it's also a jet, which can go supersonic speeds. And the weapons can be deployed in helicopter mode. You can see some peeking right out there, and there's a couple in there as well. So you can have an armed helicopter, or you can just save it for the jet mode. Have the helicopter mode be the indiscreet mode that doesn't look like an attack chopper. The red canopy is just awesome. I love the see-through red on there. When I was growing up, I remember I wasn't into M.A.S.K at all. I didn't have any of the vehicles, but I always remember the Switchblade catching my eye because of the clear red canopy. It was very Cobra-like. And I think it's kind of fitting that these years later in the comic, when they tried to do some of the crossovers with M.A.S.K and G.I. Joe, that v.e.n.o.m has become like a sub-team of Cobra, which makes sense, Venom Cobra. And inside the cockpit, this keeps falling down, is the leader of Venom. It's Miles Mayhem, the leader of Venom, the killer of Matt Tracker's brother. That's a little fact that a lot of people don't realize. In the comics, Miles Mayhem took out Matt Tracker's brother, which is what makes their rivalry so personal in the comics. The cartoon took a lighter approach to it, but here's a look at Miles Mayhem taking the mask off, and I forgot about this mustache when I was talking about the greatest mustaches. Maybe if I ever do a greatest mustaches just of all toys in general, Miles is going to have to be on that list, because that is stately. Like all M.A.S.K figures, no eye paint apps. I always thought that was weird back when I was a kid, because the Joes, even as small as the Joes were, they had paint apps for eyes. And really nice outfit on old Miles here. He looks like some sort of military general. So kind of like Cobra Commander in that sense. More of a formal looking guy with medals. He's just decorated with tons of medals. Gloves to TCB, bends at the knees. And Miles Mayhem includes the Viper mask.
Viper, fire!
Which occasionally on the show he called the Sniper mask.
Sniper mask, fire!
But Viper, Sniper, regardless of what it was called on the show, its ability is to fire corrosive acid. So let's give that a whirl. Pop the mask onto Miles right here. And I'm going to need to go and get a test subject in order to test out Viper's attack. To start off, we'll try something soft and rubbery. This is one of the G1 decoys. And we'll have Miles activate his mask.
Viper, fire!
Whew, that is smelly. Alright, so we know it works on rubber. Let's try something a little bit harder. I found this rock laying around, so we'll see if it works on this rock.
Sniper mask, fire!
It even melts rocks too, that's cool. I wonder if it'll melt something that produces acid itself. Let's give it a try.
Viper, fire!
Nope. Looks like the Viper mask will not melt a xenomorph. And if you're curious what exactly is in that corrosive concoction, computer, give us the intel.
Analysis complete. Burning agent, acid compound, 15% carbolic acid, 9% neutral dioxide, remainder hydrogen suspension.
Now you know. And here's a look inside the cockpit. Nice and roomy. Very few of the M.A.S.K vehicles ever had the issue of clearance, head clearance. Some detailing here, console, nice bright orange. Nice that there's kind of a hole underneath here for his feet to go underneath. I always think it's nice in any vehicle, land or air, when the feet are hidden like a real vehicle. This canopy keeps popping off on me, so I have to remove the whole thing to pop it back on. Alright, let's take a look at the transformation on Switchblade.
Full metal mode.
Couple of steps involved here. First thing that I like to do is fold up the helicopter blades and put them together like this. And what you're supposed to be able to do is push the blades down like this, and it's supposed to catch on this thing. Mine is well used, well loved, and that's not catching anymore. I guess someday I'm going to have to open this up and see if I can repair this. But this trigger right here releases this little hook here, which lets this pop up. And for some reason it's just not holding at all. If I actually push up with my finger, it'll hold it the way it's supposed to. But as soon as I let go, it just pops right up. It'll still work for the transformation. It's just not going to stay down. So because that's out, I just have to hold this in place and line these holes up. Each blade has a hole in it. line it up with the hole in the body. When you move this fin into place, it's going to release the side fins, the side wings, which pop out, the jet wings. And the back wing is still holding these blades into place. It would look better if this would just stay down, but it's still fine, it still works. And once those are out, you can just take these that just want to pop anyway, the landing gear, just swivel them out like that. And now, since it doesn't have actual landing gear in jet mode, it can just sit like that on the ground. What I've always done is used one of these 6th scale stands for 12-inch action figures. One of these kinds with the wider hooks. Some of them are really, really tiny, but this one is actually really easy to balance the Switchblade on top of it. It's a little bit wobbly, but it's pretty sturdy. And that's how my Switchblade has always been displayed, in flight mode. And you can do that with either jet or helicopter mode works too. Actually, this one's even better because it kind of grabs onto the stand from either side. But I've always liked how that looked, getting it up in the air, flying a little bit. That's a pretty cheap do-it-yourself flight stand. Another gimmick that's activated when you flip this back fin up is these right here pop out on either side. Cool when guns deploy as part of the transformation and you don't have to manually pull them out like you do on Thunderhawk's wings, or also Rhino has the exhaust guns that you have to move into place. And there are a couple of more weapons on Switchblade as well. At the back of the landing gear there are these buttons, which when you push down, you get a laser pop out from either side. And much like the Thunderhawk, the Switchblade also has a bomb that can be deployed from underneath. Really easy to activate. You just pull this tab back and bombs away. Easy to put back inside too, thanks to this little hole right here that feeds into this little hook right there. You got a little spot right here that moves. This trigger is what moves the whole contraption. And harder to lose this bomb than the Thunderhawk bomb, since the Thunderhawk bomb is like a dull gray silver, which can easily be lost in carpet and whatnot. But in case you do lose this bomb, you can actually use a number of different bombs in here, as long as it's roughly about the same size. In fact, even if it's not the same size, if you've got a bomb like G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, you just stick that on there and bombs away. And my favorite gimmick on Switchblade is this button right here, but you have to be in helicopter mode for it to work. So it's really up to you. You can do whatever you want. You can leave the wings out if you want while the blades are out. I think that looks a little funky. By the way, cool how the faction logo is revealed only in attack mode when it's in jet mode. When it's in helicopter mode, it could be a mild-mannered, innocent, roving news helicopter. That'd be funny if that was Miles Mayhem's cover from being the leader of a terrorist organization. Now that we're back into helicopter mode, what I really like about the M.A.S.K vehicles is you can, especially with this one, you can deploy the weapons even in its disguised mode. So you can do this like with so many helicopter toys, and that's pretty fun. But this is really awesome, pushing this button right here. And I love that the gimmick still works on this, and that really whips around. That's like the dragonfly from G.I. Joe. It's so cool when you've got a helicopter gimmick. And the one on my dragonfly doesn't work anymore, and it's kind of, what is it, like a trigger? I think this one works a lot better being a button that you push in instead of going left and right like that. And it's really fast. You do have to kind of watch where your hand is because you don't want to get sliced by this thing, right? But That is really, really cool, really fast. Really awesome gimmick for this chopper.
Say goodbye to your fearless leader, fools. This'll finish them off. Swerve out of this one, M.A.S.K. We've landed them the rubble.
Thanks again, Hubert, for the special missions request and for being a part of the Patreon tribe. And thanks to the entire Patreon tribe. I never thought I'd be so happy to be patronized. Want to give a shout out to a few members who've been there since the very beginning. And if it wasn't for your support right off the bat, I might not have stuck with it. So thank you, Luke Wiltshire, Scott Orr, Michael Proctor, Shane O, Chris Lippincott, ZZ Funk, Eric Lutz, Scott the Big Heel, Hector Martinez, and Adam Hooper. Appreciate it, good brothers. And a warm welcome to our newest Patreon tribe members, Budrick Porter and Tom Ericus Prime. Also, thank you for the extra cheese, Jace1701. And over on the channel member side, welcome to our newest member, Hector Martinez. Thanks for hitting the join button, good brother. We'll get a Cops custom emoji in there someday for you. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this vintage mask review.
Let's get out of here. You haven't seen the last of me, M.A.S.K.
Feel free to share it, leave a mask thought in the comment spot, and to join the tribe. Spray corrosive acid on subscribe.
Sniper M.A.S.K, fire!
Nerdmas Day on.